Hello, I am Luis del Rio. I came from Argentina 30 some years ago to the United States. I'm an American citizen. I can call this my home. I'm very thankful to this generous and beautiful country. I wanted to share something with you that you might not have heard before, and that it is spilling over our culture from mainly the Hispanic world over. And it has to do with how the Argentinians are seen and how they are treated. Perhaps now that the World Cup is on, you may have noticed all over the internet accusations that Argentina is cheating, that everything is rigged in favor of the Argentinians, and many other stories against the Argentinians. This is part of it, but I want to talk to you about this very interesting phenomenon that I think you would see it. I will put it up for your consideration, and you tell me what you think. This is before the World Cup. I started talking about this maybe a month before the World Cup, because some personal events that I witnessed, and I suffered some of them, alerted me. Why do I do this? Because I'm concerned first. Second, because some of my dear friends started asking me questions, and I thought, well, it's easier for me to answer them right here, and I will address their questions and their challenges to what I am saying. The fact is that in the Hispanic world, there is plenty of joking about Argentinians. Actually, there's a whole genre of jokes against Argentinians, that we are arrogant, that we have a big ego, that it's a lot of things like that. It's in that realm. I have joked with that for 30 years over here. Any place you go, most of the times, or often enough, happens that I walk in and there are a lot of Hispanics from different places, and the moment I say Argentinian, there's Argentinians, and somebody starts telling a joke, and they start just pouring out this stereotype jokes, if you want. Now, this is the first objection, and it's a valid one. It's like, so what about it? Don't you have a sense of humor? Laugh with it. I have been doing that actually all my life. Actually, I'm the one that volunteers those jokes. I had no problem with that. I would counter to that first, they're really bad jokes, and they're always the same, and they're trite. The most important one is that right now, we're in a landscape that you cannot see somebody enter from Mexico, and you're there with other people from other places. You start, these Mexicans, they have this in Mexico. You cannot do that anymore. And the curious thing is that it's okay with Argentinians. That is what is very, very curious. So how is it okay to go only in one direction and have only one group of people to joke about it? And the jokes are always denigrating the person, somehow putting them down. It's part of the jokes. Okay, we're going to do this with this specific group of people. And then if you have an objection, we're going to say, you don't have sense of humor, but we don't do it with anybody else. So that is the curious thing. I am from the old world. I mean, I'm old enough to remember, not that long actually, when we can all joke. I can make a joke, or they make a joke here, and then the other one is Indian, Japanese, and we can just maybe throw a joke back there, and it's fine. Now, you cannot do that. A Japanese guy comes in and you say, this Japanese and the Japanese, and I'm not talking about when I'm with friends that I don't know. I'm talking about when I'm just meeting people. And they start throwing that. For me, I would like it to be how it was before. We all joke about things, and it's humor, and it's okay, and we have thick skin. But now everything's changed, and we cannot do that anymore, and I don't do it. But it's very telling that this is okay to do. I'm going to give you one example in my life that happened recently. I work in court. I went to a new court, and I went there, introduced myself to the attorney. I'm a Spanish interpreter. And when the case comes up, the attorney stands up and says, I'm ready, my client is ready, Your Honor, and the other party is ready. Also, Mr. Luis del Rio, the Spanish interpreter, is also ready. He seems like a good person in spite of being Argentinian. Everybody's laughing, and me too, I'm like there. But by then, I had been alerted to this, and I said, next time I'm not just gonna let it slide. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna have a good sense of humor, but I'm gonna say something. So I stood up and I said, my pleasure, Your Honor, to meet you and provide my services. Apparently, this is the only nationality that people can make jokes about. It must be that Argentinians have a good sense of humor. And I sat down. The attorney was a little taken aback, like, what happened? And I was just smiling, I shook his hand and said, hey, it's okay. But if you had said Mexican, you're losing your license, right? So just think about it. That's what I want to start doing. Just think about it. I want to leave people to something to think about the present situation on how we Argentinians are treated. And before that, I had another experience in a place where, let's say, I'm volunteering there. And this is what kind of warned me to this. And I've been volunteering there for years. The person right above in charge of organizing, person from Colombia. And the head of this place is also from Colombia. And there's plenty of Hispanics there. I go there and volunteer. One time, something happened, and I was treated unfairly. They kicked me out. They accused me of something. It was just so unfair. It was like ridiculous. And I let it be. But then I was scratching my head, like, how much the prejudice that these two Colombian people has shown over the years, because they were on it. They were joking about this Argentinian thing, the Argentinian rolling their eyes at the Argentinians. Oh, I have been vaccinated against Argentinians already. And I was the only one around that group from Argentina. And they were just joking. There was this thing going on. And I was wondering, like, how that played out in this whole thing. I don't know. I thought I will never know. Forget it. Pass the page. Well, lo and behold, I find out through other people close to me that still go there to volunteer, that this head honcho is going around saying, I kicked out the Argentinian, like proud about it. And he's saying it to a bunch of Hispanics that have this registered in their mind. Like, of course, the Argentinian is the unsufferable one. He's the one that, of course, you got to get rid. So it's fine to say that. And he's openly saying that around. And this is like, wow, I thought, this is bad. This is discrimination, because again, if he had been saying that around the Hispanics, I kicked out the Mexican, or I kicked out the Puerto Rican, I don't know, pick any other nationality, he's in trouble. But with Argentinians, it's fine. So I made a couple of videos about this, and the surprising one, yes, the first one was just right out of the courthouse, and I'm driving and I'm sharing. It's my rant about it. But then I made another one more analyzing the situation. And the amazing thing in these videos that had a lot of track actually online was that a lot of people responded with live stories. It's not just, hey, you, oh yeah, sure. No. Paragraphs. Argentinians, this happened to me. I was in Brazil, I'm invited to a party, and they start going against Argentina. I had to put up with that until the host called me to the kitchen and started apologizing, say, I don't know what's going on. And there are many things like this. And it was like, wow, there's a thing. There's a thing here. I'm touching something that needs to be talked. Remember, this is before the World Cup. And so what I have seen is that the prejudice has expanded in the Hispanic world to an incredible degree now, to the exclusion of any other. There's no joking much about others. But with the Argentinians, it's fine, to the degree that it's spilling over let's say, the larger American. And so larger Americans can do this in the courthouse, with the judge right in front of there. If I wanted, right there, I could have had a case against this person. This is discrimination. Why you say that? and it's in front of everybody, the court personnel, the audience, the judge. So it has gotten to that point, I thought. And then starts the World Cup, and that thing multiplied. And now it's everything. They're looking at Argentinians for anything in the World Cup, for anything, under microscope. You're talking about the penalty or the red card in favor of Argentina, but you're not looking at all these other things that are much, much more against Argentina and in favor sometimes of other countries that are not playing Argentina. That, oh, this should have been a red card there, or this, I mean, the cancellation of a goal for Croatia against Portugal in the last seconds. It's a shame. Even today, I mean, they could not explain. They didn't say, well, look, you see the camera. They said, well, what are you going to do? That's offside or something. No. The FIFA had to explain, well, you cannot see it, but the chip inside the ball kind of sensed that it touched, scratch a little bit of this player, and it's like, you have to believe it because you don't see it. Anyway, I can go on. There were a lot of things. The penalty in favor of Mbappe at the last minute that made it qualified now. Also, now you see it, it's like, this is not penalty. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about everything that could be bad for Argentina. And it could be lies, and a lot of times they're lies because they've been lying a lot. So this is growing. But let me maybe address another of the objections. One of them is, well, there's some truth to stereotypes. Have a good sense of humor. There's truth to that. You deserve this. Some others have written, you deserve all this. Or others say, well, you deserve this. You're like this. Okay, I think that's true. I think there's some truth to stereotypes. They don't come out of nothing. They're not just out of the blue, they started saying this about Argentinians. There is some historical truth to this. But there is some historical truths about jokes about other groups. I mean, you can say right now, the jokes about Jewish being stingy with money and all that. So I understand where it's coming from. I understand the history. I understand there's some base, but I don't use it. I don't, because I'm an adult, I'm a mature adult. I don't know this person, and I know enough to know that stereotypes are a big generalization. I cannot treat people like that. You know, like act like an adult. What happens is that people act like an adult with every other group except with Argentina. I'm not saying that I'm with friends and they can joke with me, of course, and that's fine. But this is kind of in the general environment that I'm finding it, and it's something that it's a blind spot, I think. And it has shown, I think, tremendously now in the World Cup. I mean, these friends, they're just coming back at me like, oh, this is Argentina. They're just absorbing this. But it's not only like Messi this and this group. There are also videos about how Argentina in general cheat and how it's not attacking anymore the team or this person, but in general, Argentinians. So I'm seeing this and I'm concerned. It's like, where is this going now? Why is this not put forth and people are talking about? And laws against discrimination are now in paper. They are in the laws, they're enforced. It's a thing. People are very careful in general, but not so with Argentinians. That's what I'm saying. And don't, this other thing, oh, you're a crybaby or something. No, I'm not thinking I'm myself a victim in this world. I don't think that I was discriminated in my chances as opportunity. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, in spite of what they could say, or even if this was somehow trying to affect my progress in this world, I wouldn't have paid attention to that. And I consider myself lucky and very, very blessed with many things and not a victim at all. I'll never put myself in that situation, no matter what. In fact, you can see it, because if you start looking at the other videos about Messi, he had like blood here, he had putting things in his eye, they just give him with the elbow. And the game before that, he had, what do you call it? A big bump here. He's like Clearly, you see him like that. They foul him, they put him there. You can see him how they or kick him or insult him or anything. We just keep playing. So it's not a victim thing, and I don't like that. This is, in fact, again, I would like the humor to come back. Everybody jokes about everybody. Bring it back. But if you're going to remove everything and going to leave the Argentinians only as the target, I'm going to say something. That's what I'm saying, basically. The other thing that some friends ask me, well, what's the history? Where is this coming from? Argentina was a very rich country. It is still a rich country as far as resources. I think around 1910, it was competing with the United States. So among the South American and Central American countries, it was a luminary right there. It was a lot of education, rich wealth produced there. And so we were different in the context. So a lot of Argentinians, especially from Buenos Aires, the capital, which is a very European-like city, will go around, maybe we'll travel to other places in South America and we'll look down at what they have. And we'll be maybe a little obnoxious, looking down, and we are extroverts, so in general. So if we don't like something, we will say it. If we think something is below level or something, they may be saying it. So that kind of thing rubbed people wrong. And so there were other countries that started seeing Argentinians as that group of people that went outside Argentina mainly and started just looking down on others. That's where it's coming from. Some people in Uruguay, for example, they would clarify, oh no, it's only with the people from Buenos Aires, called porteños. But still, if they know why they keep generalizing, why they keep having this prejudice, why they keep attacking like that, okay, it was those people back then. There might be some people that are still like that, but it's not everybody. Stop using it. Stop expelling that poison all around all the time, because we are not doing it with you. So that's where it's coming from. Also, there's some friction, racial friction, I would say. A lot of European immigrants went to Argentina, and it's one of the countries that's more white than the other countries. I think proportionally Uruguay may have more, but we have a lot of variety. But there's undeniable this imprint of European style, a European mix, because it's a mix. It's not like all one race. It's the Hispanic world. It's the mixing up. And nowadays, with identity wars and all this, that's not looked so favorably. And nowadays, I don't know if you noticed, but it's not okay. There's a parallel here. It's not okay to say something bad about blacks, Asians, I mean, any group you pick, except whites. You will hear some people say, hey, there's white people, and it's fine. So I think there's something of that now, okay, it's okay. It's okay to hit Argentinians, because of course they're white, that means they're racist. And they have some unfair advantage or something like that. But whatever it is, I'm responding here to friends, whatever it is, it's not okay to be asking the one receiving the discrimination like, well, it's justified, right? So now deal with it or something like that. You don't do that with others. If you accidentally say a joke about women, like the old-fashioned jokes or something like that, and you realized what you did, you say, oh, I'm sorry about that. You won't say, well, you deserve it because you were like that. At some point in time, you were like this, so we got this impression. So that's why there's some truth to this. You don't do that. And I encourage you not to do it. neither with Argentinians. I mean, just level the playing field. It's okay. Again, for me, let's bring back the humor, joke about everything. And again, with friends, I'm fine. But I'm seeing this because you know what? When that happened to me in that place where I was volunteering, I was concerned not so much about me. Yeah, it hurt me a little bit, not too much. I mean, I keep going, but I thought, wow, this has gotten to a level where somebody may lose their job. I was a volunteer there, but somebody may be losing, an Argentinian may be losing his job because of this. And he cannot do anything about it, apparently. Or an Argentinian could be putting up, I have a good job, I go to court, I go to another courthouse, but maybe there's another one somewhere that has to put up with this constant joking, and it's only in one direction. What happens too is that I think general Americans don't know about this, and they see Hispanics making these jokes towards Argentinians. They make these jokes. And they see Argentinians have a good sense of humor, even making themselves their jokes, and they think this is fine. This is okay, I'm doing it too. But we are in America, and I don't think it's fine. I don't think it's fine because you're not doing it to anybody else. And the Hispanics are not good to keep doing it only to Argentinians. That's not good. I just want to let you know, it's not good. Don't copy that. Don't think, oh, because they do it, we can do it. Just have the same standard as you will have towards any human being of any nationality or group. That's all I'm asking, basically, which is not happening. And this is my point. And it's why it's not happening, and why is this increasing now with the World Cup? I mean, I saw the increase, and now it just went in its levels that are unbelievable. So I wanted to do this video in English. I have my channel in Spanish where I've been talking about this, and I was maybe the crazy loon for some, talking about this, anti-Argentinian before the World Cup and everything. But now there are many talking, and they're even using the terminology I started using it there. I've said what would be Argentinophobia, like Argentphobic. And they're talking about it. Okay, it's a thing. It's a thing. And it has to stop. Or we go back to the old-fashioned way. It has to stop. I will not feel like a victim at all. I will still have a sense of humor, but I'm starting to say something now. That's all I'm saying. In context, of course, with friends, you say, hey, it's different. But in other contexts, I'm thinking differently. That's what I want to say. Let me know what you think, please, in the comments here, and I will read them and answer them. Appreciate it. And send this to anybody you think may want to hear it. Thank you. God bless you.